So, one change of plans for this trip was I was going to be getting some invasive spotted bass for dinner, but then I caught this good-sized shoal bass that just up and died on me, despite what I said earlier about them being super tough, and they are 99.9% of the time, but this guy just never recovered. I couldn't get him to get any equilibrium whatsoever, and it was pretty obvious that this fish was not going to make it. So therefore, I'm going to do something I ain't never done before. I'm going to eat a shoal bass. But it really made little point to try to throw this fish back. It was in such obvious distress that it had a tiny chance of making it. And that just is a good object lesson, by the way, that fish, as my old PhD advisor said in his classically blunt way, fish die. Someone's got to kill them. It might as well be us. There's some truth to that, in that there is natural mortality rate. And down here in this part of the country, black bass generally have about a 20% natural mortality rate, which means 1 in 5 don't make it each year, just for natural causes. So that means harvesting one fish here and one fish there is not going to make a darn bit of difference to this population, because it's already going to lose 1 in 5 every single year to other natural causes. So don't ever feel ashamed or guilty for keeping a fish to eat, particularly one that has been hooked in a weird place or just clearly is in deep distress. If you were already planning on eating fish that night, or even if you weren't and you have the stuff there to fillet the fish, go ahead and do it. It's better than throwing it back there and having it just die. So don't ever let anybody, either in person or on the internet, shame you about keeping bass. Keeping bass is not a problem. Not in 21st century America, probably never, to be honest with you. Even when harvest rates were like 30%, these fish were not anywhere near going extinct or anything like that. No bass species. So if you want to keep a fish to eat, do it. And if you see somebody keeping a fish to eat and it bothers you for some reason, do us all a favor and hold your tongue and don't type anything. Be smart. Be conscientious. Don't kill them just to kill them, unless of course they're invasive spotted bass, and go right ahead. But on the other hand, don't feel guilty if you feel like keeping a fish, or if you catch a fish and it doesn't look like it's going to make it. I'd rather see somebody fillet it and eat it than throw it back for the otters or the gators or whatever. And please, for the love of God, people, back off people who want to keep some fish. It's not the end of the world. The species will live on, I promise.